woke up with a black eye.
Seriously? And no idea what caused it.
Don't know what that's about.
Wow.
Oh, I did have one more thing to show you, and it got overshadowed by the rabbit. I was going to originally say, if we had done this last week as planned, I was going to show you my immense snowbank.
Oh, my word.
So the good thing about this snowbank, it's kind of hard to see because of the light, but I think you can see it pretty much goes up to the roof. We have had so much snow on the roof. I think I mentioned last month we had to pay someone to take it off. And it was a lot of money that was not in the budget. So we're really trying to avoid doing that again. So we've been trying to stay on top of the roof raking. So we literally had snowshoes and just walked up that hill. So I'm pretty much, my knees are level with the roof and just kept pulling down snow. So have you read anything this month, Michael? I didn't do so well this month. I tried to read this Star-Spangled Crown that my son gave me for Christmas. It's a very unique book. It's the author's name is Charles A. Colum, and the character's name is Charles A. Colum III. And he's writing as if he's writing his own ancestors' story of the breakup of America and all this stuff. And it's hard to read because it's written as if it's a historical textbook, and yet it's fiction. Mm-hmm. And then the only other thing I've been doing, I've been reading my kakuro books. Ever done these?
What is it? It looks like a crossword, but
no. I mean, it looks like a crossword puzzle.
But with numbers. And they're absolutely fascinating. You have to get, like, going down has to add up to 4 and going across has to add up to 16 or whatever. And you can't use the same number twice. But I was particularly curious. I think at least 2 of those are set in the Civil War era. What drew you to that era?
Pardon?
What drew you to that era?
You know, when I first started to write historical fiction, I said to myself, I'm going to stay away from wars because, you know, there's so many facts that you have to make sure you don't screw up. You can't mess with history. Right. And so I thought, I'm going to stay away from wars altogether. Well, then it just kind of became inevitable that I'm writing from the 1880s and the 1890s and the early 1900s. And I just decided I'm going to go back and kind of look at the mid 1900s. Mm-hmm. Or I'm sorry, the mid 1800s. Well, of course, that was the Civil War era. And then I just started reading books about the Civil War, and I just became intrigued. And so I guess that just my reading and just getting kind of into the history of the Civil War was enough to really kind of spur my interest.
Right. My first thought when you said you vowed you weren't going to write about war was every generation must have their war. How are you going to find a time that doesn't have war?
I know, exactly.
Tell our 7.1 million listeners how you started writing. Well, I'll tell the story. You were writing in high school and passing stories during classes. And
I was.
Pass the next page. I read that on your bio and I said, did you ever get caught? Or maybe I should ask how often?
No, did not get caught.
That's hilarious.
It was. I could take like a spiral notebook back in the 1960s, early 1960s, because I graduated from high school in 1966. So I would say in 1964, 1965, that was when I was starting to write longhand and I just wrote high school romances, high school stories, making them, like about dances and, this kid is left out and this kid is this and, and there's all this feeling of inferiority and popularity and who's popular and who's not and all of this stuff.
The things that matter in high school.
Yep, things that matter in high school. And my classmates, the girls, that is, really enjoyed my stories. So I wrote about 3 or 4 of them. And
Sharlene, you did such a great job of show don't tell with this scene. I feel like I know Florence. And in fact, I know people like Florence. What is your advice? And Nora too, I feel like I really know her. What is your, excuse me, there goes the beer. What is
and I have my Arnold Palmer here. I just want you to know.
All right, number 3 is a name pairing. And it is Graffiti IPA from Dry County Brewing Company in Kennesaw, Georgia. The reason for the name pairing will become apparent in the reading. It's an American IPA, so it's going to taste like an American IPA, bitter, hoppy, probably citrusy or tropical fruit hop character, and a dry finish. What do you have, Laura? I know you don't have that one because it's not available here.
First of all, I'm pouring with my left hand, which I realized I've never actually done. I have Founders Centennial IPA, and this was pointed out to me as possibly, probably similar. So
that is one of my favorite IPAs, and I haven't had it in forever and ever and ever.
Well, hopefully I will like it.
You won't like it. You'll hate it.
Chris said the same thing. Here's anyway. He said I'd hate at least 2 of these today. Yeah, that's.
I love the IPA look that you get.
Don't tell me I'm wrong this time. That is terrible. Next. During World War II, and just for kicks, I'll hold up. This is my original copy of In the Keep of Time. All these years, all these moves, I've never lost it. And when I visited her, she gave me a whole bunch. There are more. I can't hold them all. She gave me a whole bunch of copies of her books. Oh, things are falling. Last one. So she's got quite a variety of books, and this is only a small sampling of what she's written over the years.